Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I have finally been employed for a little while, and as you can probably see from the book pile next to me, since I am finally getting that employed money, I have also bought books. And I went a little wild, you know. All of these have been bought during like January, February, and March. That's a wild amount of books to be bought in 3 months. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 23, 25 books. But to be honest, I have not bought all of them. Some of them I got for free from my library's recycling shelf. So, girl math. You know, I got some books for free, which means I was allowed to buy more books than I would have normally. You know, I'm on a time crunch. I need to leave for my lecture in like under an hour. So let's get to the book haul. Something that you guys will see in my book haul is that I've been buying a lot of series, so I will just, you know, introduce the series together instead of going through them one by one. And the first series is the whole pumpkin Spice Cafe series, Dream Harbor series by Laurie Gilmore. So I have the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, which I have already read and loved. I have the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, which I actually read in March and really enjoyed. And then I have the Christmas Tree Farm and the Strawberry Patch Pancake House, which was just released in March. And these two I haven't read yet, but I'm excited to. And if you guys don't know what this series is about, it is about a small town called Dream Harbor, and all of these books follow a different couple. So it is a romance series. It's lighthearted and fun. The first book follows a farmer called Logan and a pumpkin spice cafe owner, Jeannie. And then the second book follows our Cinnamon Bun Bookstore manager Hazel and fisherman Noah. And then this one I believe follows, what's her name? Kira, who owns the Christmas Tree Farm, and Bennett, who is a tourist in Dream Harbor. This is brand new, so I haven't heard much about it, but it follows a single dad archer who moves to Dream Harbor, and Iris, who starts as archers live in Nanny. Yeah, I am excited to continue reading this series. I will probably try to add Christmas Tree Farm to my TBR as soon as possible, although it feels a little bit weird to read Christmas books during spring. But anyway, here's the first 4 books that I bought. Next book is So Let Them Burn by Camilla Cole. This is a fantasy, which I have not bought a lot of those, but I honestly know nothing about this book. I just saw the cover and thought it looked gorgeous. And I did read the back cover and remember finding it really interesting. So let me read it to you guys instead of trying to summarize it myself. Farron Vincent can channel the power of the gods. 5 years ago, she used her divine magic to liberate her island from its enemies, the dragon-riding Langi Empire dragons. But now Farron is all powered up with no wars to fight. She's a legend to her people and a nuisance to her neighbors. When she's forced to attend an international peace summit, Farron expects to perform tricks and then go home. She doesn't expect her older sister, Elara, forming a bond with an enemy dragon, or the gods claiming the only way to break that bond is to kill her sister. As Farron's desperation to find another solution takes her down a dark path, Elara discovers the shocking secrets at the heart of the Langley Empire. Both must make difficult choices that will shape each other's lives, as well as the fate of their world. Lala, do you have something to say? I don't know if you can hear my cat meowing. So yeah, this sounds honestly super good. I love dragons, love that. And I also love the idea of reading about a hero already made. You know, oftentimes fantasy books are about the chosen one and the beginning of their journey. So it's fun idea to write and read about someone who has already become that hero and now kind of has nothing to do with that status and all their powers. And I do love a good sibling story. So super excited for this one. Next up, I have some contemporary, I think. I have If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nowlin. I just have heard that this book makes you cry, and I love a good cry, so that's why I picked it up. The back cover says, Autumn and Finn used to be inseparable, but then something changed, or they changed. Now they do their best to ignore each other. Autumn has her boyfriend Jamie and her close-knit group of friends. Finn has become that boy at school, the one everyone wants to be around. That still doesn't stop the way Autumn feels every time she and Finn cross paths, and the growing, nagging thought that maybe things could have been different. Maybe they should be together. As time passes, Autumn realizes she might not get another chance to make things right before it's too late. Sounds like a love story, but I'm assuming that it's going to be a tragic one. Yeah, I think I will pick this one up when I feel like I've been bottling my own emotions and want to let them all out by reading a sad book, you know. Next up, I have more romance. That is gonna be a theme for this book haul. Also, if you're wondering what this is, I got my blood drawn today, so that's why I have this here. But yeah, I have Bingsu for Two by Sujin Witherspoon. I'm not sure if this is YA or adult romance, but I heard my friend Dem talk about this in their book blog, and it got me interested. I don't know if these two books are actually connected, but the name obviously reminds me of Banh Mi for Two, which is on my TBR. So I'm excited for this one, especially because it is more about Korea, which is a country I've been interested in for a long time. I'm pretty sure this is probably adult romance. The cover is once again super, super pretty. I love her. I don't know who she is, probably the main character, but I love her. She looks so cool. And here's the back cover. Meet River Langston Lee. In the past 24 hours, he's dumped his girlfriend, walked out of his SATs, and quit his job at his parents' cafe in spectacularly disastrous fashion, even for him. Somehow, he manages to talk his way into a job at a failing Korean coffee, Bingsu for Two. But then he meets his new no BS coworker, short, grumpy, and goth Sarang Cho. Oh, so this is Sarang. She's as determined to make River's life hell as she is to save her family's cafe. After River accidentally uploads a video of his chaotic coworkers to his popular fandom account, they strike viral fame. The kicker? Their new fans ship River and Sarang big time. To keep the internet's attention and the cafe's new paying customers, River and Sarang must pretend that the tension between them is definitely of the romantic variety, not the considering the best way to kill you and hide your body variety. But when Bingsu for Two's newfound success catches the attention of River's ex and his parents' cafe around the corner, he faces a choice. Keep letting others control his life or stand up for the place that's become home. And a green-haired girl who's not as heartless as he originally thought. So, sounds like a cute, fun romance once again. I don't know, it kind of also reminds me of Tweet Cute with the like whole... I kicked my chair where my camera is propped up. It also kind of reminds me of Tweet Cute with the whole like going viral on social media and rival food places. Excited to read this one. I feel like that's just all I say about all of these books. Like, obviously I'm excited to read them. That's why I bought them. Our pile is starting to grow shorter. Okay, next up I have another series, and that series is the Maple Hills series by Hannah Grace. So I have Icebreaker, Wildfire, Daydream. And Icebreaker and Wildfire I actually bought secondhand, so I bought these from Vinted. Wildfire is in perfect condition, literally. Icebreaker has its spine cracked, but honestly I don't mind. And I think I forgot to mention it, but some of the Dream Harbor books, the first two, were actually also bought secondhand on Vinted. This is a series I have already fully read, but I loved it so much I wanted to get my own copies of it. And if you guys don't know this series, it is about a hockey team in Maple Hills. Each book follows one of the hockey team members and their kind of like significant other. So Icebreaker follows the hockey team's captain Nathan and a figure skater Anastasia, and they kind of have like an rivals to lovers kind of situation. Then Wildfire follows Russ, who is I think a goalie in the team, and then Aurora, who is an English major, and they are summer camp counselors together. Daydream follows Henry, who is part of the hockey team, and Hallie, who is I think also English major. She and Aurora are friends. This is my favorite out of the three, in case you were wondering. I actually talk more about the series in my March wrap-up, since I read the last book in March. So if you are interested in my thoughts, go check out that video. And I'm kind of tempted to buy those special editions, not going to lie. Especially because Daydream's special edition was announced, like, I think literally yesterday, and it was so cute. Next up, I have some more fantasy, cozy fantasy to be honest, and this is The Crescent Moon Tea Room by Stacy Sivinsky. After reading The Spell Shop in March, I just wanted some more cozy fantasy, and I'm hoping that this can provide. Honestly picked it up because the cover is so pretty. I have actually never heard anyone say anything about this book, so I'm going in completely blind, but I'm hoping it's a good one. And here is the back cover. Following the untimely death of their parents, Anne, Beatrix, and Violet Quigley have made a business of threading together the stories that lie at the bottom of their customers' teacups. Days at their tea shop are filled with fortune-telling, intertwined with the sounds of clinking china and the scent of cinnamon shortbread. When the Council of Witches comes calling with the news that the city diviner has lost her powers, the sisters suddenly find themselves being pulled in different directions. As Anne's magic begins to develop beyond that of her sisters, Beatrix's writing attracts the attention of a publisher, and Violet is enchanted by the song of the circus and a mischievous trapeze artist threatening to sweep her off her suite. It seems a family curse that threatens to separate the sisters forever is taking effect. With dwindling time to rewrite their future and save the cozy and much-loved tea room, the Quigleys sent out to bargain with fate. But in focusing so closely on saving each other, will they lose sight of themselves? Once again, love a good story about siblings and especially sisters. This sounds like a cozy fantasy, maybe with some romance. I'm not sure what's going on with the trapeze artist. I'm excited. Take a shot every time I say I'm excited. And I'm sorry for the alcohol poisoning. Going with the theme of cozy fantasy, I also have The Baby Dragon Cafe by A.T. Qureshi. This has been on my radar ever since I saw it being published. It looks absolutely adorable. What more can you say than baby dragons, and you know, how do you expect me to not pick that book up immediately? Welcome to the cutest and most complicated cafe in town. When Saphira opens her cafe for customers with pet baby dragons, she isn't expecting it to be quite so hard to keep the fires burning. But her young dragon patrons keep incinerating the furniture, which means selling coffee isn't covering her costs. Local heartthrob Aiden is a gardener, though his disobedient baby dragon is a major distraction from his beloved plants. However, Saphira's cafe gives him an idea. He'll ask Saphira to train his dragon and pay her enough to keep the cafe afloat. They know their answers to each other's problems, but happy-go-lucky Saphira and gorgeous but grumpy Aiden couldn't be more different. Can they find a way to work together and maybe even ignite some fire of their own? We love a cozy fantasy with some romance. We love the sunshine and grumpy trope and like baby dragons. Can I say more? I think this is one of the books that I'm definitely going to pick up as soon as possible. Next up, some more romance. No one's surprised, but this is my first Yeehaw romance. I saw this at a bookstore first when I saw another girl hold this. Like she had picked it up and was like bringing it to the cash register, and it was like, oh, they're selling the Done and Dusted series. Like I've heard about that. I haven't read any Yeehaw romances, and then I was like, other girl pretty, she gonna read this book, so I'm gonna pick it up, you know? It's the lesbian in me. But this is indeed a Yeehaw romance, a cowboy romance. The cover is so pretty. I remember when I first saw this cover, I was like, oh my god, I love the art style for this. That cover, once again, because I'm so bad at trying to summarize books that I have not actually read. Oh my god, it's Brother's Best Friend Small Town Romance. Let's go. Okay, for the first time in her life, Clementine Emmy Ryder has no idea what she's doing. She's accomplished everything on her to-do list. I wish. She left her small hometown of Meadowlark, Wyoming, went to college and made a career for herself by doing her favorite thing, riding horses. But after an accident makes it impossible for her to get back into the saddle, she has no choice but to return to the hometown she always wanted to escape. Luke Brooks is Meadowlark's most notorious bad boy, bar owner, and bachelor. He's also the unofficial fifth member of the Ryder family. As Emmy's older brother's best friend, Luke spent most of his childhood antagonizing her. It's been years since he's seen her, but when she walks into his bar and back into his life, he can't take his eyes off her. Against his better judgment, he wants to do a whole lot more than just look at her. As things between Emmy and Brooks heat up, it gets more difficult for him to keep his hands off her. Can he help her get her spark back, or will they both go up in flames? That sounds so good. I love, as a previous former horse girl, let's go Emmy. And also, I love the he fell first trope. You know, I also love she fell first, he fell harder. But something about he fell first. This sounds like it's going to scratch that itch in my brain. So, next up I have another series, not the full series actually, but I have Elsie Silver's Wild Love and Wild Eyes. A Wild Side has been released already, but I haven't bought it yet since I have never read any of these books. I've actually never read any Elsie Silver books, so I didn't want to buy the whole 3 books just in case I didn't like this series. But from what I've gathered, this is another small town romance. I have heard so many good things about this series. Like, people love this series, but my library didn't carry this. Like, literally none of the libraries in Finland had picked this series up. So I was like, well, now I gotta buy it to know if I like it. And then immediately after I bought this, my library actually bought the first 3 books. And now I'm like, you could have done that a little bit earlier to save my money. But then again, if I ended up liking this series, I would have picked it up anyway. But yeah, I know nothing about this series except that it is a small-time romance, and I am pretty sure one of them has like a dad. Yeah, I think the second book has that. That's all I know about this series. But everyone who I follow on Book Talk or BookTube loves this series. So I'm excited to take another shot. My camera's running out of battery. Let me see if this handle has more. Okay, we're just gonna hope that my battery can handle this. I have 8% left. I have 20 minutes before I need to leave, and 8%. We're truly on a time crunch. Next book, Powerless by Lauren Roberts. To be honest, I only picked it up because I was buying stuff on Vinted, and a seller I wanted to buy books off of, I think it was Icebreaker and Wildfire, had like a package deal where if you bought 3 items from them, you could get them for a little bit cheaper. And my girl math brain said, well, they don't have like any books that I'm super interested in, but they do have Powerless. So let me pick it up and see what the hype is, or the hate is, you know, whichever side of Book Talk you are on, is about. So I have Powerless. Here's the back cover. The elites have possessed power for decades, gifted to them by the plague, while those born ordinary are just that, banished from the kingdom of Elia and shunned from society. No one knows this better than Peyton Gray, an ordinary posing as a psychic to blend in with the elites. When she unsuspectingly saves one of Elia's princes, Kai Azer, she's thrown into the purging trials, a brutal competition showcasing the elites' powers. If the trials and the opponents within them don't kill her, the prince she's fighting feelings for will, if he discovers what Peyton is, completely ordinary. I've heard that people say this is kind of like Hunger Games, but with superpowers, so I'll probably pick it up at some point. Next up, I have Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I got this for free because I had like a stamp card for a bookstore that I got filled out, and then I got one book for free, and I chose Deep End, mostly because I have never read a single Ali Hazelwood book, and I feel like out of all of Ali Hazelwood's books, people who usually love her have given this one kind of mixed reviews, but then people who don't really read Ali Hazelwood have said that they like this one. This is her first sports romance, which, as you can probably see from the stuff I've been reading recently, I am kind of into. And this apparently is a lot more kinky than her other stuff, so I'm honestly here for it. I am not ashamed to admit that I like a little smut in my books, you know? So, here's the back cover. Scarlett Wondermere is swimming upstream, a junior at Stanford and a student athlete who specializes in platform diving. Scarlett prefers to keep her head down, concentrating on getting into med school and on recovering from the injury that almost ended her career. She has no time for relationships, at least that's what she tells herself. Swim captain, world champion, all-around aquatics golden boy, Lucas Blomqvist, that sounds Swedish, thrives on discipline. It's how he wins gold medals and breaks records. Complete focus with every stroke. On the surface, Lucas and Scarlett have nothing in common until a well-guarded secret slips out and everything changes. So they start an arrangement, and as the pressure leading to the Olympics heats up, so does their relationship. It was supposed to be just temporary, mutually satisfying fling. But when staying away from Lucas becomes impossible, Scarlett realizes that her heart might be treading into dangerous water. Sports romance, we love it. I am intrigued by this book because I want to know, as a non-Ali Hazelwood's fan, if I will love this or not. Okay, I think I have time for one more book. Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. This is the 3rd book in the Empyrean series. I loved the first book. The second book I think was okay, and this book I soft DNF'd. Mostly because I just wasn't in the mood for it. But I will come back to it at some point, hopefully. I wasn't in mood for such like high fantasy. I just want to read romance fluff right now, and also the really negative reviews for this book have made me kind of scared. But I will come back for this. Okay, my battery is at 3%. I have a few more books left. All of these are ones that I got for free at my library, so I think I'm gonna go to my lecture, charge my camera, and then I'll be back. The lighting will probably be horrible when you see the next clip, but it is what it is.
3 hours later.
Okay, a few hours and one university lecture later, I'm back home and my battery is fully charged. The lighting isn't too bad. We love having more sunlight even during the evenings. So yeah, let us continue through the last of these books. First up, I have two books I had actually never heard about before seeing them in my library's recycling shelf. And that is Shadow Song and Winter Song by S.J. Jones. Which one of these was the first one? Winter Song is the first one. And I'm pretty sure these are romantasies. So let me read the back cover for you guys. All her life, Liesl has heard tales of the beautiful, dangerous Goblin King. They have enraptured her spirit and inspired her musical compositions. Now 18, Liesl can't help but feel that her musical dreams and childhood fantasies are slipping away. But when her sister is taken by the Goblin King, Liesl must journey to the underground to save her. Drawn to the strange, captivating world she finds, and the mysterious man who rules it, she soon faces an impossible decision. With time and the old laws working against her, Liesl must discover who she truly is before her fate is sealed. Honestly, I was just intrigued by the Goblin King. I've never read a romantasy where the main male character is a goblin. Or actually, Gumiho. Yeah, actually that's lie. Isn't the guy in The Wicked Fox a goblin? Oh, but he isn't a love interest. Anyway, I was intrigued by the Goblin King in this book, and I got these for free, so I decided to grab them. Never heard anyone talk about these books, so if you guys have read them, let me know what you guys thought. I think these were published in 2018, not too long ago. Oh wait, there's Korean. The dedication says for 할머니 for being the best fairy tale grandmother of all time, 사랑해. I guess the author is Korean? That's really cool. Next up, I have a book that I remember seeing everywhere on BookTube when it first came out. And I remember it being on a bunch of people's TBRs and a lot of people talked about it, but I haven't actually heard a lot of thoughts on it. But the cover was familiar for me when I grabbed it off the recycling shelf. And that book is Everless by Sarah Holland. I don't know if you guys remember it or recognize it. And the copy that I got has deckled edges, which I know is an unpopular opinion, but I actually really love deckled edges. And it's a hardcover. The bare one is very simple, but getting a hardcover that's basically new for free is just very slay, in my opinion. And this is another fantasy. It says, in the land of Sempera, the rich control everything, even time. Ever since the fabled age of alchemy and sorcery, hours, days, and years have been extracted from blood, bound to iron, and preserved in coins. Now aristocrats like the Gerling family flourish for centuries, while commoners live out their scant years in bitter resentment. And no one resents the Gerlins more than Jules Ember. She and her father were once servants at Everless, the Gerlins' palatial estate, until a fateful accident drove them away. Now, desperate to earn time, Jules returns to Everless amidst preparations for the wedding of Rowan, the youngest Gerling lord, to the Queen's daughter. Between Rowan's unexpected kindness, his brother Liam's cruelty, and the chilling rumors surrounding the Queen, Everless holds more temptations and danger than Jules thought possible. The stories of her childhood begin to take on new significance, spiraling her deeper into a past she hardly recognizes, and revealing a tangle of violent secrets that could change her future and the future of time itself forever. Sounds really intriguing, a fantasy story, and you know, it has romance. What else can I say? I'm a simple girl. You give me a book with romance, I'll give it a chance, which, you know, doesn't make my standards very high, but at least I'm enjoying myself. And the cover is really, really gorgeous, so excited for this one too. Take another shot. And the last 4 books are part of a series, and they are chunkers. So let me just show them to you guys. You know, this was such a steal. I got 4 Lucinda Riley's hardcover books for free. These are usually like 30 to 40 euros when you buy them new, and I have wanted to read Lucinda Riley for a long time, so now I think this is the 1st, 6th, 7th and 8th book, which, you know, not the ideal books to own, since I own the first one and then nothing in between and then the last books, but at least I do have the first book. Let me grab a Wikipedia page for this so that I can see the English titles, and then I'll tell you more about the books. So we have 4 Lucinda Riley books. The first one is the first part of the series called The Seven Sisters, and I think the series itself is also just called The Seven Sisters. So this is the first book. Book 6, which is The Sun Sister. Book 7, which is The Missing Sister. And Book 8, Atlas, the Story of Pasalt, which is, yeah, the last book in the series. These are in Finnish, so if I read the back cover for you guys, like 1% of you would understand it. So here is the description, read right through my phone. Maya Duplies, I think, and her 5 sisters gathered together at their childhood home, Atlantis, a fabulous secluded castle situated on the shores of Lake Geneva, having been told that their beloved father, who adopted them all as babies, has died. Each of them is handed a tantalizing clue to her true heritage, a clue which takes Maya across the world to a crumbling mansion in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Once there, she begins to put together the pieces of her story and its beginnings. 80 years earlier, in Rio's Belle Epoque of the 1920s, Isabella Bonifacio's father has aspirations for his daughter to marry into the aristocracy. Meanwhile, architect Heitor da Silva Costa, I'm so sorry, I'm butchering the pronunciations, is devising plans for an enormous statue to be called Christ the Redeemer, and will soon travel to Paris to find the right sculptor to complete his vision. Isabella, passionate and longing to see the world, convinces her father to allow her to accompany him and his family to Europe before she is married. There, at Paul Ladvonsky's studio and in the heady, vibrant cafes of Montparnasse, she meets ambitious young sculptor Laurent Broglie and knows at once that her life will never be the same again. In the sweeping epic tale of love and loss, the first in a unique spellbinding series of 7 novels, Lucinda Riley showcases her storytelling talent like never before. These books are chunkers. You could kill someone with this, but the story really intrigues me, and this is one of the most popular series I have come across as a librarian. You know, so many people come looking for these books. Lucinda Riley is one of the authors whose books fly off the shelves, and I'm just excited to dip my toes into her work. I feel like it would be very epic to finish this video by holding up all of the books, but I don't think that's possible. So let me just hold like a small pile. This is like half of the books. And I think with that, I am going to thank you guys for watching. I am not gonna do another book haul probably in a long time. My wallet cannot handle these kind of shopping sprees every 3 months, and I'm also losing my job in a few days. So this was the first book haul on this channel, probably the last for a while, but I appreciate you guys staying here and watching. If you guys have read any of these books that I bought and you like them or you hate them, let me know. I love seeing other people's opinions on books that I have either read or am intending to read. And I will see you guys in the next video. So, bye!